My name is Brian Melanson.
I'm Maggie Rice.
And we're here to talk about puberty. So we are starting a new clinic very soon, and we know that parents have questions. So we're here to answer all of your questions that we imagine you had. So I've been teaching puberty specifically to people with disabilities for 10 years. I have a master's degree from Widener University in human sexuality education. I've been doing it for 10 years here at Whole Children, which is a center that supports people with disabilities, and working in the local schools.
And I have a master's degree in education. I've taken a sexuality educator training, and I've been running these programs for 12 years.
Always start every class and every clinic by going over ground rules that are really focused on creating a sense of safety. So we teach things like it's okay to feel nervous, it's okay to ask for breaks, we practice asking for breaks.
Talk about that it's okay to giggle.
Yep, that laughter is okay, giggling is okay, questions are okay. We have a question box electronically that people can use to help them ask questions they may be embarrassed to ask.
We also talk about confidentiality, that what is in this room stays in this room, and when we're in person, we shut the door, talking about this is private, you get to say what you want to say here. That's one of the ways we do it.
Yeah, creating a sense of privacy. They do need to know about puberty, definitely.
Yeah, just because they're nonverbal doesn't mean they don't notice what's going on with their body. And what's going on with your body is very confusing, and they need to know what's happening. So
even if someone isn't reading or speaking, that's okay. They can be in the room. We have lots of pictures and diagrams. Hearing the words, being around the topic is really positive for people. And we know this because we do it. And there's people in the room who are nonverbal, and they, I think, are better prepared.
Yeah, it normalizes everything for them.
Exactly.
They're not left out. That's what this curriculum was made for. Those are the people that we made this curriculum for.
Yeah, I think if you have specific thoughts or concerns or questions, you should definitely reach out to us and ask them and see if it fits. But yeah, we designed this for people with disabilities, and we've experienced working with lots of different people and with different disabilities and things going on. So if we haven't encountered it before, we can probably figure out what to do with it. And we probably have encountered it before.
Probably.
We
don't, and I have to defer to Brian on this because I'm a lot older than Brian, and I'm from the old school of you do separate them. And Brian started talking about the research and how it really is best to put them together, and I can say it is best to put them together. There's a compassion for each one, what the boys go through, what the girls go through. And it's just really a beautiful thing. Whereas when I went to school, it was just a big mystery. And boys have it easy. Oh, girls have it easy.
No, I totally agree. And it's funny because people often say what I think you said at first, which was, I don't want anyone to be uncomfortable. I'm afraid that it's going to be uncomfortable to have to talk about this private stuff around, the boys, or for the boys around the girls. But the opposite happens, is that you almost create the discomfort by separating everybody and making it secret. Not everyone is fitting into the box of boy and girl. So a person may not really ever hear that before, have any language for it, and it's can be really affirming and even life-saving for someone to hear, hey, people are like this. It gives them a sense that there's other things that are going on around them. It sometimes clarifies things they've heard in the news or things they've heard people talking about. And it just says, hey, this is something that's going on, and it's something we respect, and it's something we can interact with in a way that's healthy and safe for everybody. So whether the person is or isn't dealing with gender challenges or just the thoughts about gender, it's okay. It's still fine to talk about it.
Yeah, and they may know someone that this has happened to and never really understood what all of that meant. So,
which we've seen.
Yes.
We've had classmates transition, students transition, teachers transition, non-binary experiences in the room, and it is good to have, okay, that's what that is. All right, I got it. So sexuality is a broad topic, right? So sexuality includes attraction and preferences and gender and sexual orientation and all this stuff. And so we're, of course, not going to be able to get to the breadth of everything for sexuality, but we do talk about gender identity and we do talk about sexual orientation. And with sexual orientation, what we do is we name, gay, lesbian, straight, bisexual, asexual, and pansexual as basic terms for people to know, and we do some activities around those terms, what they mean, and normalize that that's just one of the ways people are, and that it's often something people start to think about during puberty. And then we have discussions about it and some social stories that are explain ways of being respectful and ways of honoring people if they don't have the same sexual orientation or gender identity as you do.
We name it, we define it, give examples of it.
Yeah.
And we've, one of our puberty clinics, one of the young women said, wow, I think I'm asexual. I didn't know I was asexual.
Which was really
good
nice.
Information for her to have.
Yeah, it was a really cool conversation too, because we had been talking about how through puberty sometimes you develop attraction. She had boys have crushes on her, which was really troubling to her, and she didn't know how to respond to that. And so we got to this cool place of, wait, maybe I'm asexual, or maybe I haven't had that happen yet for me. I don't know exactly. And it was a really cool place of just exploring it and feeling safe to explore it.
And making her not feel like there was something wrong with her.
Exactly.
Because when we started talking about puberty and stuff, she kept bringing this up like there was something wrong with her. And by the end of the class, she was very comfortable that there was nothing wrong with her. So
Just
there you have it.
A big message we're trying to convey.
Yeah. We have a parent info session where you can ask your questions and find out exactly what we're going to be teaching. You can look at the materials if you want, and we prefer for the kids to be in there by themselves.
And the reason for that is that, we are talking about a private topic, which is puberty. And we teach that, people that some things are just for you to learn about, and that some things you can keep private, and some people may not want to ask a question with their parents right there. Some people might not feel comfortable. What we try to do is we try to set the tone of, this is something that's just for you, your parents are nearby if you need them, but we're going to try to do it with just the students. And then if someone really needs their parent to be there, sometimes we have them come and transition out, or an aide or a staff person sometimes too.
And a lot of times parents will worry that their child is not able to do it, and we just came off of a clinic where the parent was like, oh, he's not going to be able to do this, I'm going to have to be there. And I think she was there for maybe an hour, and the rest of the time, the next 4 weeks, he was by himself.
He was just by himself, yeah.
So.
And it's good for people to have that kind of experience of doing things on their own. I think it's developmentally appropriate. We're getting older, we're doing things by ourselves. This is something that you're going through, and go ahead. And yeah, it is good, I think. In that way. If your child is approaching the age of puberty,
which can be as young as 9 or 10.
They're ready. They're ready. If people might feel funny, they might feel awkward and uncomfortable, but so much better to just do it in a safe classroom where it's fun and there's games and it's enjoyable.
And they're going to go through puberty, so even if they're 9 or 10 and they haven't started and they don't start till 12, they know, oh, this is coming, this is going to happen, and this is what I can expect, socially, emotionally, physically. And if they do puberty in the mainstream classroom, they may not understand what happened at all. They may not understand what's going on, and the way that we teach it, it's very thorough, but it's also simple.
It is not better not to discuss it. It's better to discuss it because people have questions, people have thoughts, they're feeling attraction, their bodies are changing, they're noticing all of this, and you gotta talk about it, because if you don't, it just gets pushed back inside, and people can go pretty long in their lives thinking that they're not normal, or they, who knows what happened to me, or
not talking about it doesn't make it go away.
It sure doesn't.
It's like trying to ignore puberty. It's still gonna happen.
It sure
no
is. Yeah, it's gonna happen. But least you could do is prepare for it, talk about it.
Give us a call, email us. We work with people all the time. We want to make sure people get this information.
If the cost is too high, please do give us a call so we can see if we can make it work, because we want people to have it.